Colonel Mott? Who was that?
Only a courier, sir.
What did he want?
They've caught a spy. I approved the execution order, sir.
Colonel, the only reason for shooting a spy is the protection of an army, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Well, you and I know that this army can't exist much longer. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
That is why I am unwilling that there shall be a single life lost unnecessarily. Colonel, I wonder if you'd mind countermanding that order.
I will, yes, sir.
Tired, Grant?
Not much. Mr. President, we have them. It can only last a few days more. General Sherman and I are glad of this chance to talk with you.
The Union. We've saved it at last.
You must surrender soon.
The Union. We'll have them all back. United, free. One country.
And meanwhile, Mr. President, I've heard the country wishes all rebel property confiscated, and the rebel generals, such as Lee, shot for treason.
He's put up a grand battle.
And they've robbed the cradle and the grave, sir. And General Lee is fighting with his last breath.
Shoot Robert E. Lee? Someone will have to shoot Abraham Lincoln first. They're rebels, not traitors.
And their horses and baggage, sir?
They'll need them for the spring plowing. Let them keep them and get to work.
Very good, sir. Oh, just one thing more, Mr. President. The head of the rebel government, Jefferson Davis.
Jefferson Davis.
Yes, do you wish his capture?
Well, that reminds me of a story. We had a terrible drunkard once in Springfield. Finally, he signed the pledge. The next day, he got thirsty and went to a bar and ordered a lemonade. While the bartender was fixing it, the old drunk got sadder and sadder. Finally, he leaned over and said to the bartender,
Mike, while you're fixing that, couldn't you put a nice little shot of whiskey in it, unbeknownst to myself?
Well, sir?
couldn't you sort of let Jeff Davis escape, unbeknownst to yourself?
Well, we'll do our part, sir.
We're going to take them back as though they'd never been away.
Lincoln. He freed the Negroes. He suppressed the right of trial by jury. He muzzled the press. Now, with the aid of his bayonets, his army, and his Negroes, he'll make himself King of America. Lincoln. I drink to him. And his damnation.
Right. You're right.
For my part,
Go on. You're among friends.
the man who kills Abraham Lincoln will be an immortal. Now listen. I plan on going.
Don't mind my smoking, Mrs. Lincoln?
No, not much.
I don't know how glad we all are that you're re-elected, Mr. President. I'm sure this lady will be glad to spend 4 more years in the White House.
Glad I've just hired 2 new maids. Abraham Lincoln, will you ever learn to keep your feet in shoes?
Oh, by the way, Mrs. Lincoln, have you met General Grant?
I met him. Took us a week to get the smoke out of the curtain.
Yes, Oglesby, he's one human being who has faults. Party of Prohibitionists called on me the other day and complained about Grant's drinking. I told them if they could find out what brand he uses, I'd send barrels of it to my other generals.
2 new maids. So we're going to be here 4 more years.
4 years. 4 more years.
Now, Mr. Lincoln, don't you go thinking about any of those dreams again. You live to 100. And after we set everything right over here, we'll travel around the world and have a nice, long rest.
Oh, Daddy, won't that be fun? You're not going without me.
Why, of course not, Tad.
You can depend on Mother Surratt. And everything's straight with me. I said I'd go through with it, and I will.
Tonight will be remembered throughout the ages. I play my best part. How much better a dagger would look. Cassius used a dagger. But this is safer.
Again, I say, with malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right, we shall bind up the nation's wounds and cherish peace. That government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Thank you. God bless you all.